they discover it themselves. So it improves exploration and then discovery. And then there's collaboration in learning. I think someone's hand was up. So there's collaborative learning. Okay. Most of these activity-based learning and then there's experiential learning, they are you can have a personal experience with it, but it's mostly in group activities. Okay, it's like you have groups of 2, 3, 4, 5 based on the number of students in the class. So students are able to learn that there should be a collaboration with us in amongst us. I'm not working alone. I'm working with a group, and then we all have a main goal that we want to achieve by the end of the class. So we work together to achieve it. Okay. So it fosters communication, teamwork, and then social skills. It built into them that as time moves on, hey, you get to a world where you need to work in groups with people. This is how they experience how working in groups with people is. Okay. And then from there, they it betters their understanding, it betters their skills, it betters their ways of doing things. So it fosters collaborative learning. And then also activity-based learning has a real world connection. Okay, it has a real world connection. When you give students the opportunity to to ball something in class, or you want to teach them balling, you want to teach them some do's and don'ts of balling, they have the experience. Okay, they see that it is something that I can do at home. So they see the reality, they see how connected it is, and then they can apply. So you see, when you're teaching and then the students don't really get the connection with the real world. They don't see how it affects them. It's like participation and then even retention or grasping the knowledge becomes something. But if they see that it has a, it's a real life situation, that is something that they can easily experience, they tend to relate to it very well. And integration of multiple skills. Activity-based learning combines cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains of learning. They think what they are doing is they are thinking of how to do it. Some students want to impress the teacher. Okay, so they are thinking of ways to do it very well so that they'll get to what the teacher, the facilitator was said in class. So they think of lots of ways to go about it. It involves thinking. It involves like collaborating when they work in teams. Okay, they put their emotions also up with it. So they are if affective also section also comes to part. When you are working in groups, and then you just get mad pissed about. They know that they realize that I'm working in a group with someone, and then the person will not be doing how I like it. It's not that I have to tell the person that, oh, don't do it like that. Let me do it because I can do it better. It's a group work, and then we all have equal chances of doing it. So with that, the students will learn that, oh, okay, it's a group work. I should just understand this person at the time. If I have to really explain something to the person, I'll do that. And then it involves doing. They have their hands on it. They have their hands on it. They feel it. It influences their thinking. They touch it. They see it. So they have the skills. So it integrates the cognitive, the affective, and psychomotor domains of learning. And there's always reflection and feedback. So when they do something and they realize that I didn't do it well, they'll ask their friends. They'll look at their books. They'll go back to their notes. They'll ask the facilitator. Okay, so they ask questions. And then they get the feedback. And then it's better give them a deep understanding to improve on their performances. And then there's flexibility and adaptability. Activities can be tailored to different subjects, learning styles, and ability levels, making it versatile. Okay, if we realize the environment, the learning style. If you are good, we used to group them into two, and then we didn't it wasn't helping. Maybe three people. Okay, so you can choose it to suit the needs of every student that you have in the class. Activity based learning, they experiment, okay, to get their answers. They explore to get their answers, and then through their expressions, okay, you see that uh, when a student is able to do what's required for him during a practical class, an activity-based learning class, so encourage them to express their views. Okay, it's like between years didn't come out that way, and what the lecture or the facilitator was expecting, and years didn't come out that way. Make the class so lively, make the class so encouraging, okay, for students to voice out, to tell us how they felt, how they should be able to express everything concerning them in the classroom. If they are happy, let them express it. If they are sad, we should see it so that we can help them. Okay, so if you don't see all those things, the students will be in a practical class, and then we know activity based learning and those practical classes are able to let students understand better. But like if they are not able to show the expression, okay, the students will not learn it, and then it will still be with the students. You, the facilitator, you not realize it, and then the students will go just like that, and then to you, you felt like you've achieved all the objectives, you have achieved all your goals, but cannot happen that it will not happen that way. So you encourage them to explore, you encourage them to experiment with other things. Always make sure that the resources are available for them to explore. If they are not available for them to explore, they might end up wasting it. You should also be cautious of the things that you do. And application in teaching, you can use real objects. You can change the classroom teaching environment. If it's a practical class, and then you see the classroom environment, the classroom will not foster that thing. You can just move outside. If you have under a tree, you see in most of our basic schools, in most of our schools, most of the senior high schools, they have those things. Okay, we have food lab, we have clothing labs, but you get to some schools and then they don't have all those things. So if you have to change the environment for to enhance retention, for students to learn better, it's up to you as a facilitator to do that. Okay, so you can change the classroom teaching environment. You can use videos if you feel like it will have better explanation to what you are teaching. You can use videos to add up to class. Lots of classroom activities. You can use funny skits, you can use toys, you can use puzzles and games to motivate students' interest in teaching, in learning. So this discussion has already been done. How will home economics topics be planned to fit into activity-based learning? So let's discuss this, and how will you plan some home economics topics to fit into the activity-based learning? We did one for the experiential learning. How will you do one to fit into the activity-based learning? Hello. Just pick a topic and
Hello,
then tell me
madam.
how. Yes, madam. So just pick a topic and let me know how you will involve, or you can, as a facilitator, you use an activity-based learning to facilitate the class. If you have to use an outside classroom activity, if you have to show them a video, which videos will you show them? If you have to let them do an activity, which one do you think will be better for them? These are what you go to team practice, they will expect from you. They're not going to expect the normal routine that we are. It's home economics class. They're not going to expect the normal thing that you go to class, you teach everything, and then you don't involve, or you don't ask to better, to let students better explain or understand what we are teaching in class. So how will you, in your field as a a class with an activity-based learning? You can put up your hand and then tell us. Okay, Madam Priscilla is around. Priscilla. She's gonna have so yeah, was that a concept, Madam Florence? Madam Florence, hello class. Hello class.
Hello, madam.
When I speak, okay, when I ask say hello class, please let me know if you are around. Okay, I don't want it from just one person. So hello class, are we here with me? Can you hear
Yes,
Yes,
me?
madam.
yes,
Madam.
madam.
Yes.
Yes, Madam Bebe, and I asked the question for like 2 minutes and then me who be Madam Belinda, please share with us. Madam Belinda.
Madam, Madam, like let's say a topic on cooking methods,
Okay.
methods of cooking.
Okay.
So let's say, for instance, you want to do maybe frying method or boiling method. With this, you can ask the children to bring the items, and then you do a practical work. And that one, it is activity based, because no one is going to stand in front of you to say maybe do this or do that, but rather they all come together, and then whatever that they know about it, they do it. So I think with the home econs, practical is an activity based, and then I think the practical side to cooking methods. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Belinda. Do I have another person to share with me? We are going to do such practical, okay, and then the provided like the school doesn't have things to sew that, a lab to sew it, and a space to sew it. How will you plan your class for students to get what you are teaching?
Madam, please come again.
So, Madam Belinda, methods of cooking, okay.
Hello, madam. Hello.
Let me hear me, class.
Hello.
Yes, class.
Hello, madam,
Yes, madam.
please.
So I think you as a teacher, you improvise where necessary, so that at least you can use what you have improvised to teach the learners to understand the activity you want them to go through.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Grace. So, what Madam Grace brought, okay. It is not what you want. Is no. It's not like you expect to get all these in their lives that you get them. You might think they will have it, but they will not have it. But as a facilitator, we have to go extra. Okay, as you in your daily activities, in your normal scrolling on the various social media apps, make sure you watch videos on how to improvise some things for the students so that they can actually get to learn what they are supposed to learn in class. Okay, think of ways to improvise when there are no that when the when the things are not enough for them. Okay, think of ways to improvise for them so that as much as we are getting the resources, students can also learn to get whatever knowledge or the curriculum requires us to do for the students. So the importance of the activity-based learning is just like what we have in the experiential learning theory. Okay, it enhances engagement and then motivation. It promotes deeper understanding. It encourages collaboration and teamwork. It supports different learning style. Okay, so you realize that this learning style is not supporting my students in. Usually, we can have like 2 to 3 classes of home economics students. So if I did it with home economics, say, and then I realized this was the challenges I had. Okay, it didn't support students like this. Okay, I can choose it. I can change changes and then choose a different one to support their needs. And then it builds critical thinking and problem solving skills in learners. And then limitations, it is time consuming. It requires resources and materials. It requires resources and materials. When they are not there, we try our best to improvise. Okay, if the resources are limited, we try our best to make sure that the students are able to use the available ones to learn whatever they want to learn. And then classroom management can also be a challenge. When you leave students and then you're not like to do a practical class, have an hands-on experience. If you don't teach, you will not be able to manage the class. So when you're doing such an activity, think of how you're managing the class activities, because students can be moving from one table to another table just because they are not really getting how the outcome should be. They'll move to a different desk to ask their friends. So you can just put in a rule that if you don't understand, you can just come to me as a facilitator and then you come and ask me and then I tell you, rather than moving from table to table, jumping from pick something from me, then stretching your hands and then swallowing things. So you have to make sure that put the classroom management into consideration. It comes part of your planning, or else you end up getting a lot of challenges and then you go on your base. And then it can also be less structured and then invite learners participation. As much as we have practical class to boost students, it motivates students. There's active participation by students. There are students who you are doing at the moment. Okay, probably because of religious beliefs or their traditional beliefs. Okay, so you think students are learning, but like there are particular students who are not getting it. That's why these kind of learning theories or learning styles are flexible. Okay, you try and find ways to suit the other students who are not really liking it or getting it, and then you try and find ways to make sure that their needs or are being catered for. Well, let's come to purpose of studying educational theories in school. Why do you think we should study theories, educational theories? We are saying theories help us to better understand the students, how they learn, how they grasp knowledge, how they retain knowledge. Okay, let's discuss this. Why do you think the theories are important to be learned? How do you think theories are important to be learned? Are they really important? Do we need them? Let me ask this question first. Do we need the theories to guide us, to help us in understanding or building the curriculum, guiding how we make our lectures and we make our classes and everything? But I'm just been.
Madam, please, yes, because it supports all individuals. If I say all individuals, it means that both those that we perceive them to be normal and then those with disabilities to get their hands on everything that we are learning in the classroom. So at the end, some students will not be left out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Josephine. Madam Eunice, what's your hand up?
Yes, madam, please. It helps you to know the right technique or theory that you have to use to teach a certain topic.
Very good. It helps you to know the technique, the teaching style that you choose to teach a particular topic. Thank you. Madam Frances.
Madam, please, it also helps to develop both the learner and the teacher holistically. Then it enables you, the teacher, to know what to give out when you get to the classroom. Thank you.
What do you mean by it builds the teacher and the learner holistically?
Madam, in the sense that the home econ subject is not mainly for cooking, but teaching the subject helps to develop the critical thinking of the learners and both the teachers. Not always that you know that always there will be certain things that you are supposed to think to do yourself. For instance, if you, the teacher, you are supposed to teach the learners how to prepare cake and you don't know how to go about it, you first learn it and become perfect before you get to the class and deliver the lesson. So it's always keep you on your toe.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Frances. I
Uh,
have Madam Dorcas.
Madam, please, I think knowing this is key because it will help us to know the demands of all the teaching methods and hence select appropriate people in teaching learners to develop them or to meet their needs uprightly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. So with all you've said, and then there are some here we are saying it helps us to understand how learners learn best. Okay, it enhances the teaching effectiveness by this. We are talking about the pedagogical approaches that you take in providing delivering the lesson to the learners, and then it promotes student-centered learning. Okay, it supports diverse learners. Okay, as my the first speaker said, students who have disabilities, students without disabilities, students who have high learning needs. Okay, we talk about their backgrounds. It suits all those things, and then we have continuous improvements. Okay, experiment with new methods and stay up to date with research-based practice. As Madam Frances said, we don't have this.
Madam, please, your network is breaking. Madam.
Is my network breaking? Yes, madam. Is it okay now?
It's now okay. So what you said, we were not able to hear you.
Class. Hello, class.
Hi, madam.
hello, madam.
Now.
Hello, madam.
Can you all hear?
Yes, 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 madam. Madam, you do hear you. Yes, madam.
Okay. Right. Let's continue. They said with new reforms, new ideas, new technologies, and other things to improve on your teaching. And also the relevance of this to we are talking about critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, creativity, and digital literacy. Okay, these are the 21st century skills that we expect students and learners to have. Okay, last week's discussion was on it. All the new pre-tertiary curriculum frameworks expect from us facilitators to build in students. Okay, so when you introduce a learning environment like this, where they introduce an experiential learning or an activity-based learning concept in the classroom, you foster critical thinking in the students, you foster collaboration among students, you foster creativity. When you are garnishing food, you see that students will just you as an educator, you don't tell them do this thing, garnish it just this way. You give the students, allow them to bring their own garnishing styles. When it comes to sewing, you can just present them with the what we are doing. We are come to sew and sleep, and then the students will go around, go to Pinterest, go to TikTok, go to Instagram to get nice things, and then they'll come. Madam, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Okay, madam, I want to do this type, but I don't want the thing on the at the hem. I can change it. So you foster creativity in them, and then there's data literacy. Okay, you know that an activity like bringing video taking a video in class for students to learn from it. You know, the students will get to like, okay, this thing that you're teaching, I can also go to YouTube and then learn how to do it. I can get lots of videos on it. Okay, then the students will start getting the interest in using videos to learn. Okay, the students will start knowing how to use the phone, tablets, laptops to search for information. Okay, so you promote the digital literacy in students, and then it supports. It is a learner-centered activity. Okay, in this century, this is what we need from facilitators. It shouldn't be a teacher-centered activity, but all pedagogies that we teach, we use in class should be learner-centered. It enables educators to integrate technology meaningfully, and then it adapts to diverse and in global context. It helps educators respond to diverse learners' needs and create inclusive, culturally responsive classroom. And it also fosters lifelong learning. Moving away from the theories will inform our approaches. And I believe you all know what pedagogy is. We know what pedagogy is. As an educator, when you say pedagogy, we know what pedagogy is.
Yes,
Hello.
madam.
What's
Yes.
pedagogy?
Yes, madam.
What's pedagogy?
Madam, they are the methods, techniques, or the strategies that we implement in the classroom to facilitate teaching and learning.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
madam. So once you all have a fair idea of what pedagogy is, we are just talking about the strategies, the methods, okay, that we use to facilitate learning in class. Okay, so what the learning theories explain how learning takes place. The pedagogical approaches describes the methods, the strategies that teachers, right now we facilitators, use in our classroom to put those theories into action, to foster learning, to facilitate learning. Okay, so they include planning, okay, starting from, okay, how assessment will also be like, how it includes everything around this. Okay, and then with the pedagogical approaches, we have the teacher-centered approaches, and then we have the learner-centered approaches. That's this dispensation, this new curriculum expects everything to be learner-centered approaches. It's the teaching environment that it should be a teacher-centered teaching environment, but like this, the approaches to learning, okay, students grasping the concept should be a learner-centered, which will make sure that all their needs are catered for. So the learner-centered pedagogy is a teaching approach that prioritizes, okay, the emphasis here is on priority. It prioritizes the needs, the interest, and an active involvement of learners. It prioritizes the needs, the interest, and an active involvement of learners. In this approach, students are seen as co-creators of knowledge. Right now, we see the students as co-creators of knowledge. The knowledge is not flowing from us to the student just like that. When it flows, students also flows, bring some. Okay, so like they bring the knowledge, we bring the knowledge, we synthesize it, and then we make meaning out of it. Okay, with teachers acting as facilitators and guides rather than sole knowledge providers. So when we look back to the traditional ones that we usually have, the demonstration method, the lecture method, the we have other ones like that. Okay, they put the teacher in that position to give knowledge. Okay, I just deliver the knowledge to you. But these learner-centered pedagogies, they don't see us as the facilitators, as the only one who have knowledge. They will see the students as they are not tabula rasas, they have knowledge. Okay, they also have some brain. They have brain that also can also be used to process information. They have, it's like it can be that. It's not like it can be that. Mostly, you will think that, okay, I'm going to deliver this topic to the students. Okay, this topic to students, and then the students can be knowledgeable about it than you, the teacher, that you, the facilitator. Okay, so create an environment where you are learning very much. You balance what you have with what they have, then it promotes learning. So it's not to focus on learner-centered pedagogies. It promotes active and practical learning. Okay, it enhances problem solving and critical thinking. It caters for diverse learner needs. It builds lifelong skills. It encourages collaboration and communication. It connects theory to practice. Have in mind that, as we said, these learner-centered pedagogies also sees the needs, the interest, okay, of the learners. So characteristics of the learner-centered pedagogies: there's active participation by students. When you are teaching and then you involve students, there's active participation. Instead of just reading about nutrition, students might plan and prepare a balanced meal in small groups. Okay, there's responsibility and autonomy. The students are able to choose the whatever topic that they like, and then they feel like once they chose it themselves, the teacher is there to just guide them. So they know that I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be doing this. Everything is on me. Okay, so they're able to manage their time and their resources to make sure that their goals are met. There's collaboration and then there's social interaction. So it focuses on meaningful learning. Flexible. Okay, you can change it. Just you are in the classroom teaching it, and then you realize that it is not meeting this need. It is not it is not meeting the students. You can just change it. Okay, it is flexible. It is very adaptable. Okay, and then there's reflective learning in learner-centered approaches. And then, as the role of a teacher, you are just being a facilitator. There, you are not the one impacting knowledge, solely the one. You are impacting knowledge, but you are not the one solely impacting knowledge. It is my knowledge, the students' knowledge. They bring it. Things, the ones that are not supposed to be, okay, they are thinking this way. Let me shape it this way. It is rather this direction. So think of it in this direction. And then the students will be able to think about it like that. Okay, so as a teacher in the classroom at that time, you are a facilitator. And then let's have in mind that these students, we are going to meet the SHS students. You see the basic schools, you know how their level of thinking is. Right now, you are going to meet those with a higher level of thinking than those that you've already met in the basic school. So you should involve them. Those people, they have like, yeah, right. These students are more of technologically raised. Okay, they know the trending things, they know everything. So like when you involve them in it, if they can bring out what they know, and then as a teacher you guide and then how they should learn it. if they know this on social media, okay, this is what the book is saying about it, so learn it this way, think about it this way, and then improve learning in learning can effectively take place in them. We have application of learner-centered pedagogies in home economics teaching. Let's go to the learner-centered. Let's go and discuss the learner-centered pedagogies. Then we come to the application of it. So I'll skip these 2 slides, and then the first one that we will discuss is the problem-based learning. Problem-based learning. Problem-based learning. So we have this 2 words. It's problem, and then it's a problem based. So problem-based learning is an instructional approach where the learners work in small groups to solve real-world complex problems. So instead of being given direct instructions, students identify what they need to learn. Curious, apply knowledge to solve problems. So the problem-based learning is just
Madam. Madam. Hello, madam.
Madam Josephine.
Yes, madam. Madam, please, you are not sharing your screen.
Sharing my slide. Can you see that now? Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, madam.
I'm sorry about that. So let me go. I got to this point application. And then let's start from the learner-centered theories. Then we come to how we can apply them in home economics. Okay, so that's what I said. So those are the 2 slides I was skipping. So the first one that we talk about is the problem-based learning, and then we'll discuss flipped learning. So we have the problem-based learning, and then also the flipped learning. So the first one is the problem-based learning. Okay. Well, the problem-based learning, you present the principles of using the problem-based learning as an instructor. It's the learners, people. You problem to learners. Okay. And then ensure that the question you are giving to learners is engaging, and then requires them to research and think to get answers to it. Okay, so you're just giving them a problem that they should go and find answers to it. And once they're going to find answers to it, they will use some theories that we've learned, some principles that we've learned. They will go to books, they will read more about it, and then make sure they solve the problem to bring answers to it. Okay, so you present the problem to them, then you clarify the problem. Okay, this is what I'm telling you. This is the problem I'm presenting to the class. You tell them to bring that what they think of the problem. How do they understand the problem? Okay. You see, I can tell you something, and then when you are responding, it's like I will see that you are deviating just because of how you understand it. Okay, so when they come to you and they give you responses of this is how I understand it. If there should be clarification, you clarify it for them. If there are limits to where they should search the information, you tell them. So you clarify it as a facilitator. You clarify to them so that in small groups, the learners will discuss and identify what the problem is asking. And then you let them restate it in their own words to identify key issues. Okay, so by then you know that, okay, I have given the problem out. The students are thinking as how I am thinking. The students understand it as how I'm doing. And then you identify learning needs. If you are supposed to provide them with resources to facilitate research. If the learners are supposed to go and look for them themselves, you make sure that all these are provided. You don't put a problem there where the resources use, the things they use to search for information are not relative in their environment, are not readily available to them. Okay, so identify learning needs and then the resources that they will need to make sure that the students are able to look for it, and then they solve their problem. So with that, students can create learning objectives or questions to guide their research. As a facilitator, you can guide them in certain objectives or breaking the whole problem into smaller pieces, okay, into research questions, into objectives, so that they can answer them. They'll look for answers to solve them. And after that, students do independent and group research. Once they know the problem, they now share it among themselves, that you are doing the introduction, you are doing the body, you are doing this. If you have if there are types or something, you are doing this one. They share it, and then they look for information themselves, and then they share their findings with their groups. Develop possible solutions. Okay, students are able to develop possible solutions, and then they'll present their solutions. So their possible solutions are generally based on the information that they got, and then they present their solutions. So it can be a group presentation, class presentation, where you give students the opportunity to present how they solve their problem. Okay, so it can be in a written report, and then they can present it to the class. So that they have a guideline, or they group that into ways of presenting it to make it meaningfully communicated to the class and to the class. And then when they present it, you as a facilitator, you don't present a question that you don't know how to solve it. You don't know the possible. You see, you might have possible responses to it, but the students might also have something that wasn't in your circle of the responses that you were expecting. So be open to these new ideas that they brought, and then give them feedbacks. When feedbacks are constructive, students are able to know that, okay, this was what I should learn, this is not what I was supposed to learn. So give them feedback, okay? Evaluate how let's reflect on how they learn, the problem solving processes and their group dynamics, and the teachers provide feedbacks and both the solution and then the processes that was employed. So characteristics of this problem-based learning. There's open-ended problems. Okay, you present students with real-world open-ended problems. Questions that problems that they are it can be relatable. Okay, you can present a question like, okay, you want to make an apple pie. Okay, you know apple pie. I know you can prepare an apple pie here, but you want to make an apple pie, and then you expect them to use some particular ingredients, and that ingredients they can get it in Ghana, but other ingredients within that your environment, within that locality, it can be in a rural environment, and then for them to get that pie or that apple, it will be a whole stress to the student and to you, the facilitator. So make sure that whatever problem that you are giving them, it is in their circle, it is in their environment, something that they can relate to. Okay. Something that they can easily get solved. And a problem that you present to students which they are related to. And then another characteristic is it is learner they need to know, research and explore on the problem. Okay, so the students now feels that this is what the question that this is the problem you presented to us. This is what we need to know. This is this is the particular book that I have to read on to get this kind of question. This is how I should. This is let me go to the HOD. I'll get this particular answer from me. Let me go and ask this particular teacher. Let me go and ask my mom. What you get. So the students will know where to get information. And then there's collaborative learning. EBL is typically done in small groups. Okay, so there's this collaboration. I bring my idea, you bring your idea, and then I accept your idea, you accept my idea. If it's not that way, we find ways of getting a common stand. And then the facilitator's role of the role of the teacher. The teacher here is a facilitator, so you guide the process. Okay, you ask questions and then support learners' exploration rather than directly teaching them. And then students pull knowledge from different sources to tackle the problem. And then there's always reflection and then feedback. So the key skills that are acquired in the PBL is there's critical thinking, okay, problem solving skill, there's collaboration and teamwork, there's self-directed learning, okay, there's research and information literacy, there's creativity and innovation, there's reflection and metacognition, there's decision making and then leadership among these students. All these skills are what students can acquire through a PBL lesson. So PBL can be used in home economics teaching. Okay, so let me come here and then ask you, what are some of the questions that you feel like it can intrigue learners? Okay, it can put learners in that position to learn, get ideas from themselves, and then solve the problem. So what are some of the problems that you think you can put to students for them to bring out answers and then solve it themselves? So what are some of the questions that as a teacher, when you're given the opportunity, you can present to them in a problem-based learning classroom environment? It can be food nutrition, clothing and textiles management, and living. Class. Hello, class.
Hello, madam.
Hello, madam.
Yes. Did you get a concept of the PBL as a pedagogical learning? Teaching?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so tell me, if you are to do that, okay, in a classroom environment, what are some of the questions you ask? Okay, you are teaching, I'll give you time to think of it. Okay, you are teaching food and nutrition, you are teaching methods of cooking, you are teaching nutrition, you are teaching them nutrients, you are teaching them patterns, you are teaching them some sewing skills, you are teaching them from how to care for the family, how to manage their finances. What would be a problem that you can present to them? A real life challenging problem that you feel like I can present to these students for them to give me feedback.
Madam, please, I'm trying.
Yes, Madam, try. Madam Francis.
Please, can you give them questions on idea development?
What would the question be?
We should state the exact question.
Oh, you see, it's you're telling them to bring some idea development. It's fine, okay, but like present it in the question form so that they'll go and find answers to it. Okay, that's why it's a problem. So it's like you're presenting a problem to them, and then while they are finding solutions to it,
Okay.
they will bring answers to it. All right,
Okay.
should I go and come? Madam Florence, should I go and come?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm Josephine. Madam Josephine.
Madam, please, I want to check.
Yes.
will be appropriate for this question. So let's say that a woman wants to attend a wedding, but occasion. So as a student, what can you do for the person to be able to go for the program? Madam, is it a scenario?
And I'm just saying, please come again with this. Yes,
Please, you said,
the yes is not. I'm not. The yes is
hello?
not answering your question. It's like I don't. I believe I'm not the only person who didn't yes. We didn't get it. So please, can you come back for us? Say it for us to hear
Okay,
it again.
please, I'm saying that a woman wants to attend a wedding, but the woman does not have any money to purchase new clothing or new accessories for the occasion. So, as a student, what can we do for the woman to attend the program? So, madam, please, is
Yes,
this a scenario for?
yes, yes. The question
Hello?
you presented to the parents. Hello, madam. Just
Okay, so I want to use renovating. So I'm
okay.
expecting that the student will tell us to renovate the woman's old dress by either using appliques in the dress, then about the shoe, the woman to having also can use a piece of cloth to design something on the shoe, or the old bead that the woman is having, change it into necklace and then earrings. So, madam, is it appropriate?
Yes, it's yeah, they providing the students who know that this is the topic that we are going to teach on. Okay, so when they are giving them the students who know abilities, they know what they're going to learn in that class today. Okay, so probably renovation, remodeling, and then you present them with this, and then when you present them, you clarify it with them, and then you make sure that you give them the space, you give them the time to go and look for answers, and then they'll bring their findings, and you realize that they'll bring some marvelous ideas that you even didn't think of. Thank you very much, Madam Josephine. I have Madam Florence Hayford.
Okay, madam. I'm trying. Mine will be under this topic, edge finishes. I want to
Okay.
treat. I want to treat edge finishes under clothing, and I would like them to come up with their own ideas when it comes to that. So I wanted to put my question in such a way that I feel like I am a seamstress and I sew a dress for a customer. But later, the customer came back complaining that after wearing the dress and washing it, the edge of the seam allowance of the dress started raveling or fraying off. So, what should I tell her to do? What can I do about it so that if I sew another customer's dress, that won't happen again?
Very
Madam, is it okay?
yes, we can use that one. Okay.
Thank you.
Once it's a problem here, and then you know there are possible solutions that it's like you see students, even grown-ups as like we are, that I've given you the course outline, I've given you the slides ahead. Most of you don't really know the content in it. Okay, so students, you can just tell them that we are going to do this thing. They'll not really know what's in it. So like once you presented this to them, they will now go and then search for information on how they can go by it, and then just have to present it to them, and then they will know what to do with it. All right, thank you very much, Madam Flores. Let me take Madam Anna.
Madam, when taking management subjects, for instance, you want to teach housing. Every student is in a house, but maybe they might not know the type of the house that they are in it and their characteristics, the advantages and their disadvantages. So you can share, or you can put it in broad broad phase, like we are going to look at the types of housing that we have. So everyone should go and do a research on types of housing that we have, their advantages and disadvantages. Or either you present the types of houses that we have to them, that these groups should research on such type or this type of house, and they will go and look for them, their characteristics and their advantage and disadvantages as well. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Anna, I guess where you are coming from, but the whole idea of the PBL, problem-based learning, is okay. It's like you are giving them something without really a key clue to how they'll find it. Okay, so you are putting the students to go and find information for themselves. So it's not like I am coming to tell you that we all live in a house, and then it's like you present a different problem to them. Okay, and then their ways of thinking about it will let them know that, okay, I live in a house, then let me go and find answers to it. Okay, this question that my madam has presented to me, then the solution to it is, let me go and look for the advantages of how this particular house, or the disadvantages of this particular houses. Okay, so it's like you presented a problem to them, and then in their own way, they will find out that, okay, let me go and do this, or solve the answer, or solve this problem. Let me go and look for this, or solve this problem. Are you okay, Madam Anna?
Please. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Madam. Okay, Madam Rachel Puma.
Okay, Madam. Mine is on management and living, about time management.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, Madam. Is it Rachel or Rahel?
Rahel.
So, Madam Rahel Puma.
Yes, please. Okay,
Yeah,
mine is
Rahel.
on management and living. Hello, Madam.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, management and living, about time management. And the question goes, a teacher has a lesson or a class at 7:00 a.m. On her way going, she had a call that her child is sick and has been rushed to the hospital, and she needs to attend to the child. What should the teacher do, as she has the class and the child is sick simultaneously? So that would be the question for them, or the problem for them to have solutions to it.
All right.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you very much. So a question like this, or a problem like this, can be presented to students, and in their own way, they'll find answers or solutions to it. All right. Thank you very much. Let's move on to. So we have some in your slides. We have scenario-based, real-life challenges. We have family resource examples. We have examples here, lots of examples in your slides that I gave you. And then this slide also contains a video on how PBL can be used effectively in a class. So
Madam, please.
I'm listening.
Madam.
Yes, Madam.
Please kindly share the video with us. Kindly share the video with us, or it's in the slide.
It's in the slides.
Oh, okay.
The video is in the slides, and you need to remove it from the slides and share it different separately. Do you want that?
Yes, please.
So I should remove it from the slides.
Yes, please,
okay.
And share it with them. Okay.
I'll do that.
Thank you, madam.
But it's still on the slides. If you want to add that too, you can still have it. All right. So let's move on to the flipped learning. So the Learner-centered pedagogies that we are discussing was the PBL and then the flipped learning. Okay, so flipped learning, the idea is like we've flipped something. Okay, your phone and then you flip, you see the other side comes. Okay, so the traditional structure is reversed. Okay, we teach in class. You come to class, we present to you, we teach everything, and then when the students go home, they reflect on it and then they get their own understanding, create connections, and other things. Flip learning, on the other hand, is an instructional approach where direct instruction, like the lectures, okay, like that discussion, is moved outside of the classroom, often through videos, reading, and online resources. So it's not like we've moved outside the classroom, like we are not sitting in the classroom, we've moved to maybe a field, uh, under the tree, on the park, just because that's where we can learn. No, we are not moving outside in that context. Teaching is moved outside, like you give students access the content or the reading material at home before coming to school. So before you meet them for the real discussion, okay, probably have a class on Friday with them. Monday, if you have to share a particular video on that lesson, you share it with the course rep, the class prefect, or you share it with the whole class. If you have to give a particular textbook, you give it to them. If you have to give a particular printout to facilitate learning that time, you give it to them. And then once you've given it to them, what to do is they have to read it, okay? They have to understand it. They have to experience it for themselves before we come to class. So when we come to the classroom time is used for active collaborative learning, like discussion, on activity rather than passive listening. Okay, so it's not that time that they come to class and come to start with, okay, the definition of this is this, it means this, the actions of this. I've already given it to them. So when we come to class, they are come to tell me how they understood it. We are come to discuss it. If there are things that have to stress on it, it is just discussion that we are come to do. It's not that. Okay, so that's how the flipped learning pedagogical approach is also like. So processes for using the flipped learning. You identify the learning objectives. Okay, you determine what students to know and or be able to do. So you first need to get your objectives based on your topic. You get your objectives and then you prepare pre-class materials. You prepare the pre-class materials. So you create and select engaging materials. It can be videos, it can be readings, it can be podcasts, it can be printouts, it can be pictures. Okay, it can be books. That covers the foundational knowledge of what you are going to teach. If there's something, okay, sometimes you can get a book and then you give it to them. And then pass
Hello, please, are we on break?
No, she just went off. I've prompted her.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hey, I am not hearing anything.
And she's off, so I've prompted her, please.
Hey, please, is the lecture still going on? Because it seems I can't hear anything.
I think Madam is off.
Hello. Hello, class.
Hello, madam.
Hi, hello, madam.
Hello, Madam.
I'm
Your
sorry
line
about that.
is okay.
I'm sorry about it.
Okay, please.
And I believe, where were we? What did we end?
There you are still on the flip learning, no?
Here. Is it here? Can you see my screen?
Yes, please. You are still explaining the flip learning, then you went off. Here.
Okay, all right. Okay, so as I was saying, I said the flip learning is an instructional approach where direct instruction is moved outside the class. Okay, and then I'm saying it's moved after outside the class. I mean the structure is reversed. Okay, the students access the content at home before coming to class. So it's like I want to teach something on Friday. Okay, we can have a class on Friday, and then prior to have the class, I give them the slides, the video, the if I have to share a video with them, if I have to share, give them slides. If I have printouts, I want them to read it. Okay, I give it to them before we meet for the class. So in their own way, when they go home, when they go to their dorms, in their own personal space, they interact with it before coming to class. So the classroom time that we have, if my class is a 2 hours class or it's a 1 hour class, that time is come to be used for discussion. Okay, so it is used for active collaborative learning, like discussion, problem solving, and hands-on activity rather than active listening. So it's not that time that I'm coming back to ask, okay, food is this, there's the types of food, there's this in management in living, we have this in pattern making, you need this, you need it. They have already interacted with it. Okay, so when they come to class, they are coming to class with their problems, their questions, their clarifications. When they go, they jot down while they are learning, they are jotting down things that they will need. Okay, they will need more hammering on. So when they get to class, then we discuss it. Hello, class, are you here with me?
Yes, please,
Yes,
madam. We are
madam.
hearing.
Yes, madam. We are here with you.
Okay, so processes of using the flipped learning. One, you identify the learning objectives. Okay, you identify learning objectives. Is someone's hand up?
Madam, please, yes.
Yes, I'm
Madam,
listening.
please, I want to find out whether the flipped learning is related to inquiry-based method. Are they the
Inquiry
same?
based.
Yeah.
How do you define
Or
your
the
inquiry
same?
based process?
For what I know is with that method, students are asked to go and find out about something. You give them, let's say, a situation for them to go and research about. Then they present. So I don't know whether
Okay,
they are related or is the same thing.
so they're all pedagogical stuff. Okay, so with the inquiry base, they are going to find it's just like the problem PBL. Okay, so it's like they are going to find answers to the problem. But then with the flipped learning, you are giving them the materials, okay, what they need to go and then what they will need, the particular item they will need for the next class. If you are come to do baking, okay, you've already sent them a video on how the baking is going to be done. Okay, so when they come to class, they already have idea. We are going to do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to teach them, but they have already experienced it with themselves based on the teaching materials that I have. Okay, all right, Madam Douglas, are you okay with it?
Yes, madam. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, how to use the flipped learning? So here, you identify your learning objectives. Okay, so you determine what students need to know or be able to do. So, based on the topic, you have your objectives. Okay, maybe your objectives are to identify to determine. So you want students by the end of the lesson, you want the students to determine to identify the processes used for decision making. You want students to, so you know your objectives. Okay, so your objectives will inform the kind of materials that you have to give to the students. So you after that, once you know your objectives, then you prepare class materials. Okay, create or select engaging materials. So it can be videos, it can be handouts, it can be reading, it can be textbooks, it can be anything. Okay, that you want the learners to read or engage with at home, and that then should cover the foundational knowledge of what you are going to teach. Sometimes you can print a book and then there are other pages in it which really doesn't really reflect what you are going to teach. But then you tell students that we are going to maybe probably you've given them the book, read on page 1, page 2, page 3. Do not read on page 3, 4, 5, 6 because it's not part of it. So keep them concise. Okay, you let them know that this is what we are going to learn and this is what will be needed for the class. And then you share the pre-class material with them. What you have already prepared, you share it with them with clear instructions on what to do. Okay, what you are going to do, I've shared with you the video. It's a lengthy video, but make sure you look at the way the woman was kneading the bread. You look at the ingredients, look at the particular brand of that ingredient. The book that I'm giving you, make sure that you identify the. So you have these instructions given to them. Okay, they will know how to interact or what you expect. By then, they'll know what you expect from them. That when they come to the class, they will be doing. And then you encourage students to take notes or write a short activity. Okay, write what they learned so that when they come to class they will have a fair idea of everything. Okay, once they have short notes, they have questions, they are listening, they jot some things down. When they come to class and then they have to clarify it, they will ask questions, and then it will boost and will encourage them to be asking questions, be active in class. So you tell them to make sure they jot some things down. And then when they come to class, okay, we are now come to have a discussion. So the discussion can be in group discussion, hands-on experiments, case study, or problem-solving tasks. And as a teacher, your position is as a facilitator, you are guiding. Okay, so you guide discussion. Okay, if you put them in groups, you guide how they do their discussion. You give them feedback. Okay, rather than just delivering a lecture, because if you wanted to do the lecture, you shouldn't have given it to them earlier and then you come back and then stand up and miss again and then do a lecture. They already know what they're coming to do. Okay, they already know. So like yours is just to give them feedback. When you ask them a question and then they answer it this way, oh, you tell them that this is how you should think of it. This is how you it's like you are directing their learning. Okay, and then always end the class with a reflection. So it can, as how would you access them? It can be through quiz, it can be through question and answers, it can be through a project, whatever way you want to access them to make sure that learning has taken place. And then you make sure student gives you feedback. Okay, so reflect and then on how the class went, so that adjustments can be made for future flipped lesson. Okay, you ask students how they interacted with it. Did they like it? How the struggles they went through, even in class, you as a teacher, what are your observations? Through that, you can manage and then also um, uh, redefine how you use flipped lessons in classroom environment. So the flipped learning is there's active learning in class. Okay, because that's I was saying okay, us as grown up, as teachers right now, okay, we are doing switch right now. You see, sometimes when we are going to do exams, it is that time that we sit with the slides and then we read it. You see, when you read it, it's like you realize that there's a part that, oh, sir, this is what madam was trying to say. This is what she was trying to say. Oh, there's this thing in the slides that I should have asked the question so that it will better my understanding. Do you experience that sometimes? Do you
Yes.
experience that sometimes?
Yes.
So I see when you give it to them and then they go home and then they read it, okay, they'll be having it's like they read it and they realize that okay, this one I don't understand it. So when I come to class, then I'll ask the question. So using your example as your side as an example, you read that if you had an opportunity to have a class again, you ask a question based on that to better your understanding. So that's how it is. When they go home, they engage with it, and when they come to class, they have questions. They come with loads of questions, bags of questions to ask. So there's active learning in class, and then it is self-paced. Okay, you've already probably given it like a week before the class, so the students can learn it. The students who can use just a few hours to grab the whole thing. Some also need days, okay, to grasp it. So they learn based on their own pace, so they can grasp it, and then when they come to class, they better understand it. So it is self-paced learning, and then it helps to better use of the teacher's expertise. Better use of the teacher's expertise. It's like if a teacher you know how to use technology well, okay, you know how to search for information on the online. You search it well and then get a better video which the students can relate to, rather than getting any other video and then the video when you share it with the students, later when you come in, be like, okay, this video you weren't supposed to watch it this way. I should have. So it helps you to use the expertise to get resources for the students to better facilitate learning, and then it is individualized support. The students, it's like you help you fit the needs of individuals. Okay, some videos, some students are better learn with videos, with pictures, with images, and all those things. So once you've given that to them, you've helped them a bit, and then when they come to class, it's like they have explanations to it, and then they're better able to relate it to what they want to know. It also promotes responsibility and independence. They know that you've given it to them, they are going home. They are supposed to read it. Okay, so they are responsible to read it. Okay, before class. When you do it continually with them, they'll see the norm. And whenever you give them something like that, flip learning is going to take place. So when it comes to class, it's their responsibility to read it. I'm just coming to better touch on some parts and then clarify what they know. So, like, they have to read it and then learn everything by themselves. There's increased collaboration. Okay, there's access to material anytime. You give it to them and it becomes their video. They have it themselves. Right now, the videos that I've sent to you are in the slides. You can get it anytime that you want. And then it supports diverse learning styles too. Using flipped classroom. Okay, one, it is time intensive and then planning and execution. With planning and execution, we are now going to look for videos, we're now going to look for books, things to better support what you want to say. Okay, you get a book and then the book is not really supporting what you want to say that much, but like it has some parts of it. So right now it's like you're going to take your time, do research, and then you get what you want to give it to students. So with that, you can have a problem bank. Okay, with flip learning, you can go online and then look for it's almost okay. I had some, so I thought like it was someone sent WhatsApp. So what you can do is you get a problem bank. Okay, problem bank is just like full of problems. Okay, some necessary some problems that you can encounter while doing a flip learning. Okay, and then you have answers to it. That, oh, this I can encounter this problem. I can encounter this problem. Okay, guide how you go by it. So if you realize that you can encounter this problem, okay, then I'll use this method or I'll use this technique instead, so that I can make it faster. Okay, and then you can co-plan with your colleagues to get answers or to make it quicker. Okay, they'll give you ideas and then how you can go with it. You can also start with mini PBLs to see how it will go, and you can organize your class around it. And then if students are not familiar with PBL, you give orientation, you tell them how PBL is, how the structure is, so that they will have a fair idea of how it is. There can be group conflicts or uneven participation. Okay, you can give them, you give it to them to go and read it and then come to class, and then so will not participate. Classroom discussion. So you assign rotating roles. Okay, if you group them, you assign rotating roles. If Monday Cecilia was the group leader, Tuesday Mercy can be the group leader. Wednesday, so that they know that at every point I have a role, a responsibility, and then it makes them very active and then cooperative. And then assessment complexity. A challenge is you can how you assess such a lesson. Okay, you can use a detailed rubrics, scoring rubrics. I believe you know scoring rubrics. Hello, class.
Hello, madam.
Do we know
Hello,
scoring
madam.
rubrics? Do we know scoring rubrics?
What?
No.
Madam, please, what?
No.
RUBRICS, rubrics.
No, madam, please.
No, madam, we don't know.
Madam, please,
Madam, the
before you write
rubrics
the
we know.
lesson notes,
Yes.
like the day, duration, objectives, those things. So
No, another person was talking.
yeah.
Another person was talking. I want to hear you.
Madam, that's what I was referring. That's what we know.
Okay, so scoring rubrics, okay. It's just okay. Maybe you have a fair idea of it, but it's just like a marking scheme. Okay, a marking scheme. So if the student says this, I'll give them 5. And the 5 that I'm giving them, if the student is able to say this point, this thing in it, the student gets 5. If the students remove 2 from it, the students get 2. If the remains, you get it. So it's a detailed way of assessing the class. So if it's a group discussion, and after that you give them, you score them based on their discussion. you have a detailed way of doing it. Okay, when students come, if the whole group will present, each individual presentation, they're addressing their fluency, how they were able to answer questions. It's detailed. You have marks allocated to everything that you use to score it. So it's just like a marking scheme. If the student is able to say this, I'll give them 5. So that's how the scoring rubrics is. Are you okay with it?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so to do assessment, you can use a scoring rubrics which will help you, okay, to score learners. And then a challenge that you can also face is there's limited access to resources. There can be limited access to resources. If you're using textbooks, you see, right now the students are plenty. Okay, their numbers are increasing, and then the government textbooks that they are bringing will not be enough for them. So right now, that one is up to you to make sure it reaches them. Okay, so if you have to make photocopies of it, you can tell students to make photocopies of it, and then they learn it. Okay, but since it will not be enough for everyone, you can also use community-based problems and then local data. Okay, so if what they are supposed to know, it can be found in their environment, relatively in their environment, you can chance it, use it rather than getting videos, rather than if there's a festival coming, okay, incoming, and then the festival is next week, and then maybe your lesson is planned around the festival. Okay, you have some foods that they can they prepared, some dressings that has a symbolic interaction. Okay, you can tell them that this festival is coming and this is what I want you to learn from this festival. You tell them, can use that opportunity instead of getting a video on a festival to show them. You can use that opportunity for the student to interact with it, see them, and then when you come to class, you have that interaction, discussion. So there are a lot of tools that can enhance teaching. Some are local, can be found readily in our country. Some too are European-based tools that we can use. But irrespective of it, you should know that these are some of the tools that we can use to enhance teaching using the flip method. So you have content creation and sharing tools, you have video recording and editing, you have screen stats, Martin, you have Camtasia Loom, you have presentation tools like PowerPoint, Google Slides, you have Prezi, you have content hosting platforms like YouTube, we have the school learning LMS, we have boards like Moodle, Canvas, Blackboard. Right now, we have Google Meet, we have Zoom, we have all those things that can enhance teaching. We also have some tools, interactive tools like quizzes, Full Kahoots. We have Quizzes Socrates. Some of these things are apps, okay, that you can use. We have interactive videos. We have collaborative platforms too, like the Google Classroom. We have Microsoft Teams. And we have communication and reflection tools like discussion boards, we have Flipgrid, we have Slack, we have note taking and annotation, OneNote, Google Keep. Some of these things are sites and then some of them are apps. Okay, so these are examples of those that you can use to enhance learning. Okay, so you can just Google some, know how to use it, and then you can influence how you can use flip learning in the class effectively. So let's come here and then let's discuss the teacher-centered pedagogies with the learner-centered pedagogies. What do you think? What do you think of this? Which one do you feel is best to be used? The teacher-centered pedagogies.
Madam, please, your question again.
So this is what I said. You can see there's the discussion prompts here. Can you see my screen? Compare the teacher-centered pedagogies versus the learner-centered pedagogies. Okay. So teacher-centered pedagogies that we have and then the learner-centered pedagogies, which one do you feel like in this current dispensation, in this 21st century, which one will better suit the needs of the learner than the other? What are some of the advantages you think this one will be over this? Is it okay to use it? Okay, Madam Lucas.
Madam, please, so does that mean that flip learning is teacher-centered?
No, our discussion is only on the learner-centered.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know whether we've discussed any of the teacher-centered strategies. That is why I'm asking.
So whilst I was talking about the teacher-centered, the learner-centered discussion, I said our discussion will be on the learner-centered pedagogies, okay? Like the flipped learning, the PE.
Madam, your network.
Madam, the network, we can't hear you. It's breaking.
Say that you can't hear or it was the network. Is it okay now? Hello?
Madam, your voice is very faint.
Hello?
We can't even hear, madam.
Hello, class. Hello,
Hello, madam.
This is you okay now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes, madam.
Okay, thank you very much. So my question that I was asking, okay, the traditional ways that you were doing, comparing why stop presenting? Before this new curriculum, tertiary curriculum framework, okay, before it was telling us to shift from the teacher-centered pedagogies to learner-centered pedagogies. And then right now we've talked about learner-centered pedagogies, where we said their attention and everything are on the needs on the learner. Okay, so what are some of the things, the teaching methods that you think are teacher-centered? Learner-centered is like we have a discussion with the learner. Okay, the learner is also part of the discussion. But the teacher-centered is like we are giving the information. We feel like the learners should learn every information from us. So what are some of the teaching methods that you think are teacher-centered? What are some of the teaching methods you think are teacher-centered? Madam Hamida.
Please, we have the lecture method. Then
Very
we have
good.
memorizations and direct instructions. These are some of the teacher-centered method of teaching.
I heard the Madam Belinda, your hand was up. Madam Belinda.
Madam, I wanted to say the lecture method, but she has already said it.
Okay.
I wanted to say the lecture method, but she said it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So right now that we know some of the teacher-centered and we know the learner-centered, what are the differences? What will it tell me? If you have to compare that one, which one do you think will be effective in classroom than the other? Madam Hamida. Madam Hamida.
Madam, I said the question again.
I believe you can see my screen. The whole class can see my screen.
Yes, madam.
So there's a discussion prompts, and the question is compare teacher-centered versus the learner-centered approaches. Okay. And
Okay.
right now we have been able to identify some of the teacher-centered and then we know some of the learner-centered. So I'm asking, if I'm supposed to ask you to compare them, which one will you choose in the class setting? Okay, to make sure that these skills, right now we are talking about the 21st century skills that we want the students to acquire. Okay, which one do you think will foster it in class? Which one will make teaching and learning enjoyable, lively, very educative. Which one will foster teaching and learning in class? Okay,
Yeah,
so
madam, I think we'll take the learner-centered approach, the teaching methods. That one will make learning effective and for the children to get whatever that they are supposed to get, especially the problem-solving method of teaching, then discussions where the students are involved in whatever that you are doing. It will help than you using the lecture method. They just sit there and like you give them whatever that you are giving. You don't even know from their side whether they've gotten it or not. Thank you.
thank you very much, Madam Hamida. Anyone else to share with us? Anyone else?
Madam, please, using the learner-centered approach, everything is centered on the learner for the learner to be developed their own ideas in order to unearth their creativity. So it makes the learners explore the environment and also increases their thinking ability. So always they are in the act of solving a problem, developing an idea to solve a problem. Unlike the teacher-centered, whereby they are being spoon-fed, it's about rote learning. They chew poor, then they forget. But a learner-centered, they will develop the idea themselves, so it stays with them. Their creativity is always ahead of them, so it's like their life is being developed fully because they are able to develop an idea, they're able to create something after they are also always they become happy, and it's also about their competency in whatever they are doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Esther. Madam Belinda.
Madam, I think the learner centered method is very, very good because when the learners are part of the activities, they become active members of the lesson. So when they become active members of the lesson will stay with them wherever they go. They will not forget. They will never forget about that lesson because they became active members of the class or of the lesson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Will I get one last person? Madam.
Hello, madam.
Yes, Madam.
Please, I also choose the learner-centered because it encourages collaboration and group work. They work together and also they learn how to relate with their classmates. Thank you.
Thank you. So very good. Right now we are learning this not because of exam sake, not because you want a degree, but like we are learning this because when we go to the field, this is what we are going to do. Okay. This is how you be athletes for your off-campus teaching practices. Okay. You create the environment, you make sure that you involve all these kind of theories, the pedagogies that we've talked about, so that effectively, we see home economics is Pascal oriented. So if you choose this kind of pedagogies, it will make sure that whatever you want to learn will be better achieved in class than other methods. So, okay.
Madam,
Yes, madam. Hello, I'm
please,
listening.
Please, we're supposed to go for 10 minutes break. I don't know if.
So I'm almost done. It's left with assignments. You leave it for the 10 minutes break and come and I'll explain the assignments to you.
Okay, then explain. Then when you are done, then we go.
Let me hear from the whole class. Will you go for a 10 minutes break and then I'll come and then explain the assignment to you?
Yes,
No,
madam. Madam, please continue. Then you finish.
Continue when you finish. Then we'll
Continue and finish.
Madam, continue and finish so that we not come again.
Sure, continue. All right. So I wanted to finish it so that you get the rest of the time to read your notes and then prepare for the next class. Okay, so there's the assignments in my slides. Okay, so you have to design a mini lesson or a classroom activity in home economics topic that integrates either experiential learning or activity-based learning. You are applying PBL or flipped learning strategies. Okay, so this is what you do. This lesson. not today's lesson, at the end of our 4 weeks. We are supposed to do a micro teaching, but our 4 weeks will not be able to do it. So what I expect from you is at each center, you have food and nutrition coordinated out students. I'm not repeating this instructions. So like courses, please listen to me very well. Class members, please listen to this very well. Okay. At each center, we have food and nutrition and coordinated out students. So you take one theoretical class and then one practical class. Okay. So I'm going to do this. How many are you in West School? Jesla. Madam Jesla. Madam Jesla and Katie, you're for West School. How many are you in West School?
Madam, we are
Madam
65.
Petra is not well. So sick.
65. UCC, how many are you?
Madam, with clothing, if clothing is that, you are also 60.
Zenith.
And now with clothing, we are 16.
It's not just clothing, the whole class. Zenith.
I said with clothing students, we are 16.
I mean the whole class, food and nutrition and clothing and textile students. Or food and nutrition and clothing, are there 16 students?
Yes, please.
Okay. So Zenith will take management, management in living. We will take food and nutrition, and then UCC will take clothing and textiles. So Zenith management, Wesco food and nutrition, UCC management in living, clothing and textiles. Okay. So at the end of the lesson, 4 weeks, you just do a video of how you incorporated everything that we taught here in the class. So right now you're starting with your lesson, your mini lesson activity. Okay. So you plan how you do your activities. Either you're choosing experiential learning or activity based or flipped learning or PBL. Any that you want to use. Okay. Just let's right now put it down. Okay. Next week we'll be starting to write your objectives and then how you engage the class. That once you learn it and then you also put something down, and then the last discussion will be how to write your lesson notes. Okay, so by then you will write something down and then you will know how to go by your class, whatever activity you put in. Then you make a small video, like a short video. Okay, like you are teaching, one person will teach the whole class. Okay, so you create a setting like you are doing a mini teaching. Okay, also see how you incorporate all this in your class. So you do a video and then you send it to me, and then I'll give you feedback on how it is and then how you should be expecting all your income to be consistently.
Madam.
Madam, yes.
Your line is not clear. Some of us.
Madam, this one it will be something, no? Because like not all the courses that we have in a combined class, the clothing people. It's only just this. So I don't know how we'll be doing it.
Please.
Madam, your network is not clear. We can't hear you.
Hello, class.
Hello, madam.
Hello, madam.
Hello, madam.
Is it okay now?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Janet students.
Madam, we didn't get the instructions well. But the line was breaking.
Yeah. Oh, take your time. Okay. The network, it's not my fault. So if it comes to network issues, don't make it seem like Mashoda and my network is breaking. It is network. Okay. It's an online class, so it will happen. So if you're responding to it, don't make it feel harsh, kind of. Okay, my network can break at my side. It can also break at your side. So it's something that we all have to manage. So the problem is management.
Madam is gone again. Oh.
Hmm. Alright, so I'll do the notes and then send it to the class group. Okay. Hello, class.
Madam, please, the network is gone.
Hello, madam.
Hello, madam.
Can we hear me now?
Yes, madam.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'm saying I'll do a voice note and then I'll send it to the class group instead. Okay.
Okay, please.
Okay, thank
Right.
you.
So, in our class, if you have questions to ask me, we still have time for we have more than your 10 minutes. So if you have questions, let's do the clarification before you leave. If there are no questions,
Madam,
yes, Madam Josephine.
please about the group work. The UC center, is it the whole class doing the same work or you do it in groups?
But listen, may send a voice note to the group. Because I'm going to be checking
Okay.
in the next week and I'll go back. So I'll send a voice note to the group. Okay.
Okay.
I'll address this.
Okay.
Madam Frances also says something. I'll address it in it. Okay.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Josephine. Class. If you have other questions to ask, I believe right now most of you have my number, so you can just text me with your question and then I'll clarify it for you. We have a class platform, so you can just put it inside and then we will do the discussion over there. So it's 9:43. Thank you for having this time with me. You still have a lot of time. You can go over your notes and then read. And then next week, God willing, Sunday, same time, 7 o'clock, we'll be meeting the class. All right, so enjoy the rest of your day. So we'll meet another time.
Same
Bye.
Same to you, madam.
Oh, it was.